I'm getting me a 2D printer next week.
It's a pencil.
Hey guys, welcome back to Show and Tell. Christian is off again. Work is insane, the holidays. But we have Jable's back and Logun is back, so they're going to fill in for him. And tonight we are talking about Talara. And I didn't know if it was the girl's name or the land until about 3 pages in. So let's go find out. Oh, the first thing I want to say, the question I want to ask is, why the fuck would you put the prologue in the back of the fucking book? Everything I needed to know while reading that book was on the last 2 fucking pages, you pieces of shit. That's why I had no idea what the fuck was going on. I had to wait till the last page and go, oh, that's the fucking bloodstream and all these motherfuckers are talking about. You morons. You ruined your own book. All right, I'm done. We can quit now. Hey, guys, thanks for the show. Let's go with Justine this time. What do you think, Justine?
I didn't really like this story that much, to be honest. Like you said, it was confusing until the fucking end. And I like the art better in this one, though. They actually had decent art. It was good.
I did have a problem with this guy Aznek. There's 2 brothers here.
Yeah, aren't they like twins?
Adrix.
Yeah, and I couldn't tell them apart. I had to flip back because I was like, "Is this? Wait a minute!" And there was like the armor is almost the same, just a different color, and I'm like, they look just alike. Of course.
Adrix has his titties out. That's how you can tell. It's very similar armor, but the good guy has all the fucking white flowing cloak and all that shit. The ivory fucking armor, with the gold.
Of course.
I honestly, this is just kind of off of the way things have happened lately. I thought you sent it in the wrong order. And then, as I was reading it, I got a first page last again. You know what I mean? I was like, all right, I'll let it go. It's fine. But now you're telling me that's the way you got it too. Then that's fucked. However, I like this story. I think it could have been done a little bit better, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't bad enough for me to dislike it. I was intrigued reading. I was confused again till the end, and it made more sense. But it wasn't like the rest of it wasn't making sense at all, And there was one confusing part where they kind of blew up the fucking world, and when everybody was gone, it just was her in some dream state. So once again, Bob, I'm sorry. I chalked it up to him sending me shit in the wrong order. And then as I kept reading, it started to make more sense that, okay, this is after, like, everybody's dead and she's like the chosen one. And they did really good with that. She refused to allow the fucking world destroyer to use her body as a vessel on Earth, so he fucking ripped her in half. And the thing is we're not seeing all of it because more story continues later, right? So where he takes a clone of her, you know what I mean, takes a part of her and to use, he's gonna fuck it, I'll just pull this and I'll use this any fucking ways and send you back, right? And she wakes up 80 years later. That's fucking weird. But like, and if you notice, after she comes back to Earth, she has 2 different color eyes. She had brown eyes, and then when he ripped her apart and took half of her one eye fucking turned blue. And
Her speech bubbles.
Her speech bubbles also turn blue.
Her speech bubbles turn like that. Yeah, like a green when she got a green tattoo. Yeah, all after she got ripped in half, like her whole character, her whole personality changed. It was like reading a different person. Yeah. She wasn't this badass fucking warrior anymore. She didn't have that same mentality. It was all frantic and worried. Like, right? She was completely different. So what he did was fucking snatch that badass out of her, and he's gonna use that. He's gonna use that warrior part of her and come down in the next book.
Yeah, that half was the only half for me that was coherent. For me, it was the dialogue in the beginning. Really, in the second was a little better. It gave a more understanding, but the flow of the story was better. But this first half, like the dialogue was just bad. Like I didn't know, like for instance, right here when this chick who I thought was Talara, but apparently she's not. Talara is the name of the
planet, the world.
Planet. Yeah, the world, right? So she says, well, first of all, he's like, I'm not unhappy to see you, but what are you doing here? It's like, it's like
who says that?
Waiter saying. Yeah, it's like, well, how was your meal? Well, I'm not completely dissatisfied. Like I'm unhappy to see you. But anyway, her dialogue is like, the Dragon Slayer Covenant has captured a member of the Endless near the Deep Strike Mines, right? It doesn't imply at all that she is one of these Dragon Slayers. She's talking about them like it's another entity and she's separate from them. So I'm getting, okay, so, and then next way, she claims your brother, Adraxis, has given himself to Regulus. She who? Who the fuck are you talking about? Because I don't know in this dialogue that you're a part of this Dragon Slayer clan, right? And that you're talking about the person standing next to you, because the dialogue does not lead up to you knowing that she's a Dragon Slayer and that this is the Endless, because this is the first time you hear of Dragon Slayers and Endless, and you're not indicating that either one of these girls standing in this frame are Dragon Slayers and Endless. And it was like that through the whole book. And that's why I didn't like it, because the dialogue was so vague. They tried to be like, the whole thing was like this. The Dragon Slayer Covenant has captured a member of the Endless and the Deep State or the Deep Strike Mines. Like the whole book is written with these Lord of the Ring phrases. You know what I mean? Like it has to be 15 syllables, or it's not interesting enough, And if you'd have taken just a couple of those words out and added in, I'm a Dragon Slayer, and I found this bitch out here by the fucking by the Deep Strike Mines, and she says brother's an asshole, right? Just give us some fucking context on what's going on. And they did that through the whole story, and that's why I didn't like it. But like you said, at the end, when he separated her, the dialogue and the story started to flow better. But up to that point, it was just, I couldn't keep track of anything. The art was confusing, the panels, how it was laying out, and the dialogue was, they were trying to be too...
I disagree with the art. The art was the only thing that got me through the dialogue, because the art was making sense, right?
Each panel was nice, you know what I'm saying? But the flow of the story wouldn't go. Sorry, go ahead.
I still felt the flow, honestly, myself. Like, again, there was a lot of movement in these panels. It wasn't like the Turtles one where it was just still stagnant, flat lines. Like, there was a lot of movement in these panels, and if you paid attention to the movement, it did really fucking describe what was happening. Like, they did amazing when he fucking zapped the planet and they all started disintegrating and fucking floating out and shit. Like, the art was fucking amazing in this. Like, it was good.
But even the art good, you're still confused at what this thing is. That's like, now all of a sudden there's this big thing with claws ripping the world apart. You're like, what is that? Like, and you don't know until the end of the book. They were trying to be clever, but it didn't work out, guys. You failed.
But I have to agree with Bobby, because I do think the beginning was a little confusing. Not confusing, but more like too fast paced, I guess. There was just too much shit going on. Like somebody with ADHD fucking wrote it and then took Adderall or something in the second half and was like, oh, okay. I can do this
I know.
now.
Wait. I know where this story's going.
Bro, speaking of Adderall, it still didn't say who wrote the book.
Oh no!
Man, Christian,
We
where you
are
at?
terrible with that.
This is Talara, black and white. A script by Ricardo Sanchez. Art by Popman. Colors by Zach Atkinson. And lettering by D-Ron Bennett. Yep. I'm getting me a 2D printer next week.
It's a pencil.
It's bad. I gotta wait till next week to get it. My favorite page was technically page 13 that you guys didn't get, and it's a Batman cover here that they're advertising for a new Batman comic. I did like the explanation of all these creatures, and I wish it had been at the beginning of the book. I guarantee if I were to go back and read the book now, knowing this information about these creatures, I would probably be a little less confused. I don't know if I would enjoy the book anymore, but I'd at least be a little less confused about what's going on. And
you know what's crazy about that is that I was able to enjoy this book because of talking to you and Christian about other books that I didn't like, because I wasn't open-minded about the creatures and the things that they're telling me, and I'll find out later. Or it's a continuation, so you're not going to get all the information in book one. All these things you guys would tell me when I first started the show, I've been doing now, and you're doing the same thing I was doing, where it's like, I don't know, I didn't know what the fucking Dragon Slayer. Fuck this book.
yeah, but like when you're talking about something, when they're referring to something, like two people are having a conversation about something, and the reader isn't privy to what they're talking about, and they're not doing it in a way that's mysterious or leading. You know what I'm saying? They're just doing it in a long, boring, drawn out way. You're just like, the only thing you can think is, what the fuck is going on right now? Who are they talking about, and why are they talking about it? And again, like I said, you don't find out until the end of the book. And all I'm saying is, I probably would have enjoyed it a little more had these 2 pages been the first thing you saw. That had been like a leap of bounds better. I probably would have enjoyed it a lot.
That if they did the last 2 pages at the front and got rid of the first 3 pages, I don't agree that half the book was that bad, but the first 2 or 3 pages were exactly what you're saying. But I just took it as, I'll find out what this fucking dragon thing is in a minute, probably, right? Like, that's the way books and movies and stories go, is they tell you something and then you find out later. So I just kept going, and again, it was a little drawn out.
I mean, to be fair, you have Secret War on Weed as your number 3 book of the year, so.
Are you knocking credibility now?
Yeah, I'm starting to question your ability to judge these things, man. So you're saying that you would read the next issue if you had it?
Yes, I would, absolutely. I'm curious.
I'm surprised, really. I'm proud of you, Dan. You've grown.
Yeah, and you're fucking regressing.
Yeah, I know. I would not read it. What does that say?
You get cranky in your old age.
Get off from my comic book. What about you, Justine? No, I can tell already.
I think I'd give it a shot, just
Really?
because it wasn't terrible. I didn't like it that much, but I would give it a shot if, like, I wouldn't buy it to read it, but if somebody was just like had it and I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'll read that, but but I wouldn't go out of my way to buy the second one.
Yeah, right.
For me, it's like, it's one of those last book on the shelves kind of books.
Like if I have to read this one day, but it'll be the last fucking thing I do.
Yeah. if I'm completely and utterly bored one day, that's the book I'm reading.
It was that bad to you?
I think it could have been done better. Or maybe explained in a different way. I mean, they kind of threw you into it.
There were just a few things they could have added in the dialogue to help us and move along what's going on. Like if you're not going to write it in an intriguing way, so intriguing that makes you want to wait to find out what's going on, you know?
Yeah.
Then have to give us some information so we can understand the conversations you're having and relate to them until you get to that point. Because you can write an intriguing story and tell people hardly nothing until you get to the end and have this big reveal and the whole fucking story be amazing, you know what I mean? But you have to write it that way. Oh, another thing I didn't understand, she wakes up 80 years later and people she knew then are still alive. Like, weren't they in their 30s at that time?
Yeah,
like,
80 years later. And the guy that's with her is like, she says, you don't look like you've been alive for 80 more years. It's like, I am, just believe me. And you're worried about the move on. Like, hold on now. Hold on.
If you hired a young actor and didn't want to waste money on fucking makeup, it's a comic. You can draw him old. You know what I mean?
Old. But we're not supposed to worry about those. Those are the wrong things to worry about.
Yeah. Those are questions I will have for the rest of my life. Questions of Talara will never be answered in my world. A university, Talara.
Is that because you won't read book 2?
I'm not going to read book 2. That's right. I don't have book 2, but I do have. When we do get to Warlands, another fantasy, I have 12 of these, and I'm gonna make y'all read every one of them, so we can like do the whole series.
Yeah. Well, let's also. I want to make it clear to the audience again. I don't read comic books. I read comic books for this show. So I guess I need to make it clear to you too, Bobby. If it's not for this show, I'm not reading 12 other fucking comic books. And that's crazy. No, but that's what's crazy about me doing this show, though, right? Because even though I still feel that way, like I truly enjoy. Like when I like this one, the Talara, I like this book. You know what I mean? It wasn't so bad that it was unenjoyable for me. I think that's what's fascinating about the comic world is that a lot of people like me. You know, I think we're missing out on some shit, to be honest, especially in this indie comic realm, because I feel like these indie stories have all been 10 times better than any fucking mainstream Image or Marvel thing that I've ever read.
Yeah, definitely. They definitely don't get the reads that they deserve. Anyway, that's all I got on Talara, whatever. Oh, hey guys, also I can start announcing our next show, and you can check into the comic or read the comic yourself. And so our next episode, we're going to be doing Superman, the Man of Tomorrow, a return to greatness. And I got. Cool
I do not like the look of that Superman.
I know, right? Look at this dude. What a
He looks a little off.
Then save it for the next one. You gonna join for that one? Because it's gonna be a fucking doozy.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun.
Oh my gosh.
Alfred Page of Page One Comics is going to join us tomorrow, or on the next episode to do that one, to review that show, that comic book. And he's got a new comic book coming out, or it's actually issue 2 of Blowtorch will be out on February 18th, and we'll be reviewing that here coming up in the next couple of weeks. And he's going to come on with us and do an after show with that to talk about his whole universe and everything. And we really enjoyed Blowtorch and his universe, so we're looking forward to doing that with him. All right, well, thanks, Justine, for stopping in. And Logan, what's up, guy? Thanks for coming in. We'll see you guys next week, man. We'll see y'all next time. See ya.
Bye.
What's up?
Well, we were thinking.
We're
So-
set up. So what's up, guys?
What's up?
He's
Ready to start the show?